Hi everybody, this is Kevin, and welcome back to another comic book review. And today we're going to take a look at Batman the Joker Warzone, which is a one-shot containing 5 short stories all about the Joker War and what's to come in the future of Batman's storylines, essentially, with 2 by James Tynion IV, and, well, we'll get to the other stories as we go through it. Now, a couple of things. People were criticizing this book because it's $6, and they were saying that the stories were sort of mediocre to bad, to which I'm going to disagree and tell you in my review here that I thought 3 of the stories in here were really good, really solid in my opinion. 1 is really bad, and the other is kind of meh. But we'll get into it. You can see it's a little oversized. And the Joker Warzone, nice cover there. I guess we'll look later, see who did that. But it starts off here. This is the James Tynion IV written story with artwork by Guillem March. And this is probably the best drawn and the best story in the entire book here. And it's Arkham Asylum with Bane all tied down. And no one has mentioned this in the reviews yet, but just looking at that arm there, that's Victor Zsasz. So it'll be interesting to see how he enters the fold back into Gotham when he does, I'm sure. And just great artwork by Guillem March here, especially the Joker. Bane is all strapped down here, getting the venom sucked out of him. And the Joker's paying him a visit. And I've mentioned this a few times, like, because Killer Croc was sent to Arkham Asylum in one of the Detective Comics issues, but why are there still prisoners in Arkham Asylum? I thought the Joker would have freed everybody, but I guess he's keeping some sort of law and order, right? So he gives Bane back his mask, and Bane's like, just get to the point here, Joker. Why are you paying me a visit, and why don't you free me? So the Joker pulls out a gun and is ready to pull the trigger, and he's like, well, you know, that would be a mundane way for you to go. We want to savor that moment. And he starts screaming about how, you know, the last run that Tom King had where Bane took control of the city. And he's talking about Alfred here. You killed the last parental figure he has in front of the effing kid? You don't even put him on the damn telephone so he can listen to it all live? You wasted it. You wasted that death. And it's a meta commentary to how Tom King told that story there with Alfred being murdered in front of Damian Wayne. The butler was different. The butler was the only other way to hit him in that deep primal place and break him like he hadn't been broken since he was a kid. You could have hurt him more deeply than I ever had. Do you get that? You could have been his greatest villain. Instead, you picked Robin. You're not the man who broke Batman. You're the man who broke the baby bird. And essentially, Damian has left the Teen Titans, if you've been reading that book. And he's saying, he goes on to say, you know, the boy's just going to have therapy, and, you know, you didn't even break Batman. You should have done it in front of Batman, essentially. And really, it's meta commentary saying, you know, Tom King wasted killing Alfred on nothing. Because, I mean, this has entirely been a whole retcon what's been going on here. And he leaves without murdering Bane and leaves Arkham Asylum a serious house. Here's some credits right there. Great colors, Tomei Morey, and all sorts of other stuff. So here's this next story. And essentially, if you've been following along with Joker War, you know that Lucius Fox had Joker toxin in the beginning of the event. And he's back home now. So this is written by John Ridley with Olivier Coipel as the artist, with Matt Hollingsworth the colors, and Daron Bennett the letters. Family Ties. So he's back home now. And if you read Catwoman number 25, which I give you that right there, I read and reviewed it on the channel. Catwoman, with the help of the Riddler and the Penguin, got Bruce Wayne's money back and gave it to Luke Fox. And Luke Fox is basically saying we got to keep it under wraps here. We can't really give the money back to Bruce Wayne quite yet because it'll look fishy with all. I mean, look at the amounts there. With all the amounts getting transferred around, the IRS will be after them. So just look at Lucius' face here. He's just completely insane. Like, I'm going to keep it to myself. And all of a sudden this, what is that? Like a big Hummer comes running through. And all these clowns come in. And Luke Fox puts his suit on as Batwing. And this is also going, because I guess John Ridley is going to do like a short DC Black Label miniseries about Batwing. So that should be interesting. So he's back in the fold. Maybe he'll be in that Batman issue 100 coming out this week. And Lucius, still like insane, pulls out a gun, and Batwing's over here just, you know, injuring the clown, not killing anybody. And Lucius pulls out a gun and is like gonna threaten to shoot him, and Batwing's like, don't do it. And then the police show up, and at least the police are still maintaining some kind of order, right? So they just mentioned how he was influenced with Joker toxin, and then they are on their way. The end. So this story, some people have criticized. I like this story. This is basically this new villain here, the Henchmaster, who's working for the Joker. And you got the team up of Cassandra Cain as Orphan, or possibly the new Batgirl, and Stephanie Brown as Spoiler as a team here. And the reason why I like this, and it's written. This is written by Williamson, I believe, and it's written more for like the girls, I guess. The female characters. But I like it because they're canceling Batgirl, which has been terrible. I've reviewed the last few books. It's been terrible. And my theory is that, they might do a new Batgirl book and it be like a sort of team with Barbara Gordon being Oracle and then the two Batgirls, Spoiler and Cassandra Cain there, teaming, going back and forth. And, this was fun. I mean, it was just kind of a corny, like definitely written more for girls, but I thought it was cute, having the two Batgirls come back. The symbol, Joshua Williamson, art David Lafuente, and the color says Hi-Fi. He did a lot of the Flash books, and he did work with Williamson on the Flash quite a bit. You can definitely see the coloring there, very, very well done. Now, this book, I didn't really care for that much. This is definitely the worst, but, the artwork's pretty good, but just the story is, I don't know. This is The Ashes of Eden, written by Sam Jones with artist Laura Braga, and essentially you saw a few issues back in the Batman books. Harley Quinn took Bruce Wayne to Eden, essentially, and that was, Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn are sort of an item, and Poison Ivy goes back home and sees her garden in ruins, and it starts burning all the Jokers, and I don't really hate this because the art's good. Poison Ivy looks attractive, and that's a wonderful thing, as always, but Poison Ivy's just wreaking havoc, and burns her Eden to the ground, and is getting ready for the plants, and then she puts on this dress here, and says that she's Queen Ivy, but the artwork's good. As for the story, it goes by pretty fast, and it's like, nothing really substantial. She's Queen Ivy now, and it just says to be continued in 2021, so perhaps she'll be a main villain in Batman's Rogues Gallery in the next year or so. And then this story, I thought this story was great. The artwork has a place. It's sort of like Riley Rossville in that it's really crazy looking, but I like this story. This is Clownhunter, written by James Tynion IV with artist James Stokoe. And that right there is the Joker. Just look at him with Punchline. Joker, where is he again? Right there. Looks like a complete lunatic. And he's got his head clowns here, Snap, Crackle, Pop, and Big Ed. And he sends them to the Narrows, which is where the Clownhunter keeps killing all the clowns. So they're going out there, and the artwork definitely is... it's interesting. I thought it was pretty cool. I like the artwork here. And they show up, and they're getting shot at. And it's got all these things, clown-free zone. And just, there's the Clownhunter dummy. And they keep getting shot at. And you see the sniper right there is Clownhunter up top. And he's shooting everybody. He's gonna, capture all the clowns. And so this guy throws a grenade up at him. And you saw, when he was introduced, he has a baseball bat. And so he batter up, hey, batter up, and he hits the grenade back at him. And I just thought this was so cool here. And there he is with the batarang, doing battle here. And then you see him right away in the battle, his helmet comes off, and you see his face there. So he's, he's not like he's a character that we've seen before. This is a new character. There had been kind of some speculation that he might have been another character dressing up as this. But no, he's an original character. We don't know his real name. We just know that he's the Clownhunter. And all the crowds are chanting at him, Clownhunter, Clownhunter. And you see he's ruthless. He gets the batarang bat there and just hits him in the side of the head. Boom! Holding the bat up high with blood dripping down. The end. So I thought this was pretty good. I know people were like, oh, there's no Batman. But I thought all the stories, aside from the Poison... And even the Poison Ivy one, I didn't hate. Because like I said, Poison Ivy was drawn very attractive. And this is all setting up future stuff. You had James Tynion basically telling the meta commentary of how Tom King screwed up Bane and screwed up killing Alfred. You had, John Ridley introducing Batwing and Luke Fox into the fold. You have what I think would be a great team up if you get the three of them. Spoiler, Cassandra Cain as Batgirl, and then Oracle, Barbara Gordon as Oracle. Like I said, Poison Ivy, and then you saw Clownhunter. So I recommend this. It's $6. You saw it here. If you don't think it's worth it, whatever. But I thought it was good. I liked all the all the additional side stories and stuff going on, and I really think the future for Batman looks pretty bright. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and stay tuned for more new comic book reviews coming soon. Everybody have a great day.